Second.
Any objections to closing the speakers list? Okay, seeing none, it's closed. Adam Finworthy.
No, as is. You can say as is and move to vote. I didn't say as is.
Okay, everyone please stop talking. I'll allow names as we go.
My problem with putting one person in charge is that there's no way to guarantee that they're neutral. Basically, what this document says as is that they make recommendations and council has the authority to vote on whether they agree with them or not. But they can withhold recommendations, they can just not bring it up. I mean, that's totally within the VP Finance's power, and I'm really uncomfortable with that. I'm cool with changing any member of council to AS, executive assistant, or anyone who basically is like has no bias, anyone who is completely neutral. Thank you. Any neutral party. But then I'd also like to consider if the only thing that makes this legal is that it puts it in the hands of one person to decide. Really? Like that? It's kind of surprising to me. If the only thing that makes this legal is that you make it an administrative duty of one person, we should consider that. We should take a long, hard look at that. Lynn?
Yeah, I was not for this when I thought it could be politicized, and I'm now not for it even more, knowing it has to be one person. This does not solve any of our issues. This amendment really won't do anything. I think as a whole won't do anything. So just fail the amendment, fail it as a whole. I want to go home.
Woo! John?
This John? Yeah, this is just a fundamentally evil document. Like, adding slightly less evil things to it does not make it any less evil. This is okay because it's like, I don't know, trying to like take a picture of Hitler with a puppy. That puppy is all good. So I'm sorry, but any amendments to this, vote it down.
Okay, that's all for the speakers list. We're going to vote on the amendment.
Can I friendly amendments read AS executive assistant? Speakers list.
Yeah, actually, once the speakers list has been closed, I don't think amendments are going to You can just recompose whatever you like. Sorry, Peter. So, the speakers list is closed on the amendment. We're going to go to a vote on whether to amend the item. So, all in favor of accepting the amendment proposed by Adam, please raise your hand. All opposed? All abstaining? Okay, that fails. We're back to consideration of the item as a whole. There's still all our speakers list. Bryant?
Actually, I'll pass.
Peter?
Sure. So again, people keep like they get on the speakers list just to say this whole document's evil. Let's not even look at it. And then you say that you're an advocate of free speech. Like, if you're an advocate of free speech, let's debate the merits of this document. Stop just passing it off as inherently evil. Like, it's fundamentally opposed to the principle that you're claiming to protect. So, by debating the merits of this document, I will now continue to do that. A lot of council members here are probably just getting a little frustrated. Understandable. It's been a long night. A lot of emotions flaring up. But I'll honestly just realize, like Adam said, we're just going to fundamentally be making a decision today. I mean, the exact wording of it really doesn't matter. What really matters is what direction the ship is going to be going. Seriously. That's what's going to happen right now. Realize that while you may think right now that just choosing not to act will result in no repercussions, realize that's not the case. Like, basically, the last time students got very, very upset at the fact that our structure was fundamentally flawed, they came to myself and they came to Utsa. The next time, I will have nothing to say to them other than contact your local AS senator. Because literally, I've done all, no, just realize, there will be responsibility for us. Just not acting is not actually like, oh, problem solved. Just realize, there will be responsibility doled out, regardless of what you do. If you act, there will be many individuals who will be extremely angry with your decision. But that's like the point. This is what student government is. You make decisions, and I mean, like, as was stated in the PowerPoint presentation, inherently when you make a decision, you're going to advance the viewpoints of some to the exclusion of others. Why I think that this is an effective mechanism, and why I think you should advance this viewpoint, is for the following. As we've already stated, the right to freedom of speech cannot be curtailed by this, because, as the Supreme Court said, freedom of speech is not inherently tied to funding if it is not a public forum. So this has nothing to do with freedom of speech. If this has to do with your understanding that the associated students may be corrupt and may do things that would be very bad for media organizations in the future, well, again, the entire purpose, what I stated the purpose of this is to promote the principles of community. This can't be used for any purpose other than to promote the principles of community. The sole criteria that can be used to decide whether a media outlet will get funding, will get advertising dollars or not, is whether or not their publication is an effective means of promoting the message that the associated students affirm to principles of community. That's the criteria. Like, where's the corruption in that? Well, the corruption is that they could change the message. Well, they could reconsider this with a changed message at any given time, majority vote, this goes into effect. An evil council can do anything. Literally. So, I mean, just saying like, well, now that we passed this, then the evil council is going to be able to do whatever it wants. The evil council can do whatever it wants anyways. That's the point of democratic rule, unfortunately. I mean, do you want to like outlaw democracy too then? Like, oh, you shouldn't have individuals popularly elected because then they could get in power and change the rules and do really corrupt things. You have to accept that sometime you've got to stop ducking the question and just ask, do you think our structure needs to be changed? And if so, what can we do to change this proposal to make it something that validates, that would warrant your vote? If you want to keep ducking the question, that's fine, but that doesn't mean you won't have responsibility for the ramifications of this decision. Go ahead.
Okay. I really like the evil council we keep talking about. Anyway, so I think that this is a pretty split issue given, the people who showed up here today and what they said. And it's not really a one-day decision, and if it is going to be a one-day decision, I don't want to be working off of this document. I want to send it back to committee, so they can talk about it. The committee was a mess last time, so we need to reform it, like take a new chair and do it over and do it right this time. So that's what I think.
I also think like that, and I want to take a straw poll just because I do think council has voiced their opinion fairly one-sided, that this is not a document we want to approve tonight, and that we need more consideration from the committee. So I guess the straw poll is, who would like to continue talking about this, and who would like to essentially fail this and have the committee look at all options? So who would like to continue talking about this? Please raise your hand. Who would like to essentially fail this and have the committee look at all proposals again? Okay. Surprisingly, it is actually fairly even. Granted, that's everybody on council, not just voting members. So, in the same light, I guess I'll keep talking about why this is bad, but I'll try not to repeat other points. Well, I guess the reason I don't want to be discussing this and I want us to fail this is because there are other options that we can't consider when we're talking on council floor like this. Because currently we can only talk about the motion at hand. We can't bring up other options and the pros and cons of those. We can't have a logical debate. We can only debate what is in front of us. And I appreciate Adam's attempt to like make this better, but this in its best form is still not going to be good enough. It's something that is a huge change that we cannot even fathom the impact it'll have. And I'm not saying that by voting it down, there's going to be no impact. I understand that there's going to be an impact. I'm not saying our work is done by any means, but this is just going to have such a negative connotation, and it is going to completely politicize and narrow the amount of publicity and publications that are on this campus. They're going to be scared on whether or not council is going to decide to fund them or not. So how do you think they're going to change their content? They're going to change what they're writing based on what they think we want. And that's bullshit. Sam Jones.